Hey guys, the Lady Sith Empire here today, and today this is a very special video as today, April 24th, when this video is coming out, is the anniversary of this channel, and this channel's been around for 11 years, guys, 11 years, which is crazy. If you guys haven't already checked it out, I also did a giveaway for basically hitting 1K, but also kind of just for the anniversary too. So the giveaway is obviously already closed, but I would have already posted the video, or the video that's for the giveaway winner should be before this or after this video. So if you haven't checked it out, go and check it out in case you might have won. And before we get into this special video, if you guys haven't already, please like and please subscribe. Please share. Also help this channel continue to grow to hopefully we could do another 11 years and hopefully get not double. Hopefully we can get a lot more and then 2K in 11 years. But yeah, first guys, one thing I said I was going to do, I said I was going to do a face reveal. So let's do it. Hey guys, this is what I look like underneath the Stormtrooper helmet. Yes, I know I'm not Crimson Hemsworth, what I think a lot of you guys thought I looked like. So I'm sorry to disappoint you all who thought that's what I look like. No, this is what I look like. But yeah, this is the face behind the voice for the last 11 years. All jokes aside, guys, I thought it was time to basically show my face since doing this 11 years, and also just because I want to get more involved in the lady community, and I figured one day people are gonna see my face, so why not do it now? So this is what I look like. But yeah, on to the rest of the video. So yeah, like I said, guys, it's 11 years since I first created this channel, which is honestly pretty surprising. I didn't even realize I hit 10 years last year, which I would have made this last year if I'd known that. But yeah, for this video, I just wanted to kind of thank you guys who've been here for the last 11 years. If you are watching this right now and you're here 10 years ago, let me know down below. I want to know who is still watching since then. Also, for those who may have just found me or may have found me a couple years ago, let me know when you started watching. Like, what mock was it? Balmora, which Balmora I built about 6-7 years ago, and that part was the very first mock that really helped this channel grow. So let me know if you're here for Balmora, Geonosis, Hoth, Sullust, Endor, or maybe just Korriban, which I know a lot of you came because of Korriban. Also, if you came from army videos, let me know also. Let me know which army made you guys subscribe. So let me know what video and how long ago made you guys subscribe to me. But yeah, for this channel, for this video, I wanted to go into kind of like the history of the channel, why I made it, also why I like Legos, what made me get into Legos, and also Star Wars. Why did I get into Star Wars? What made me like Star Wars? So let's go to Star Wars first, because Star Wars is obviously the big thing I like. There's a lot of Legos I have, also a lot of mocks of Star Wars. So let's get into that first. So I grew up watching the original trilogy, which are, I guess, 4, 5, and 6. How young, I don't remember. I know at least 5 or 6 years old when I was watching them, at least. I remember watching New Hope all the time in the living room growing up. Same thing with Empire Strikes Back, and also Return of the Jedi. A fun fact, kind of funny to think about, when I was really young, before I really liked Legos, I was more into G.I. Joe and Plastic Iron Man, and I would actually stick G.I. Joe into shoes and have them be the X-Wing pilots, the rebel pilots, and every time an X-Wing pilot blew up, I would have basically reenact the scene of the pilot blowing up in the shoe as a G.I. Joe. But yeah, I grew up watching 4, 5, 6. I loved them growing up. They're probably my favorite movies to watch. I don't say, I think probably mostly my parents who got me the Star Wars. I don't know who actually owned them originally, who bought them, but they're originally Star Wars and VHS tapes. Yes, I'm that old. I remember watching those. I watched the unedited version, the special edition version, and the non-special edition version. So I saw what George Lucas originally put out in theaters, and also what he changed in the special edition. And So I grew up watching those on tape. I still own at least 2 complete sets of the Star Wars on VHA tapes, which I probably will never watch them again because they don't make VCRs anymore. But I still own like 2 complete sets, and I probably will keep them probably forever. So that's how I got into Star Wars. But I wasn't really a huge Star Wars fan probably until a couple years later, probably when I was like 8, 9. And I started reading a lot of the books, especially from Legends, because when I was 8, 9 years old, Disney had to take over. They're still writing books from Legends. So I read a lot of Legends Star Wars books. The very first one was Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which that was kind of would have been Star Wars if George Lucas hadn't made Empire Strikes Back. For those who didn't know, if New Hope failed, he wasn't going to make it anymore. And Splinter of the Mind's Eye was going to be the continuation of the stories through books. Of course, New Hope was successful to where he made the rest of the movies, and Splinter of the Mind's Eye it's kind of like a standalone, it like doesn't really fit in Legends, but so it's kind of his own little standalone book. But that was the very first Star Wars book I ever read. And after that, I read a lot of the other ones. The Thrawn trilogy, the New Jedi Order, the Fate of the Jedi, the Yuuzhan Vong, a lot of those, the Old Republic books, a lot of those books I read. Even before I watched 1, 2, and 3. I didn't watch any of those. I think Attack of the Clones was the first one I watched out of those 3, and I probably watched it when I was probably 10, 9, and that was back in 2009, 2010. So by then, Attack of the Clones had already been out for a couple years. Revenge of the Sith has been out at least for over 5. By then, Phantom Menace has been 10 years old, close to that. So I was really behind on watching all the movies when I was growing up. But yeah, when I first watched Attack of the Clones, I remember watching at a friend's house at night, and something about Kamino and the nighttime in Coruscant, I just remember watching it and just being like in awe of it. Especially the first time ever watching these new Star Wars movies. Like, I thought they just came out, and come to find out, no, I'm just behind and watching them. But yeah, Attack of the Clones was the first one I watched out of those 3. Then I watched Phantom Menace. And I remember watching that Darth Maul scene and the Duel Fates music. Oh, that was goosebumps. That was so awesome to watch. And then Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith that one was amazing to watch too. And that one was part of like it goes between first and second favorite Star Wars movie. It keeps flip flopping. But after watching for all first 6 movies and then reading the books, just sealed the deal for me. Like, I love Star Wars at that point. I wanted anything Star Wars, not just Legos, but like the plastic blaster toys you can get, the action figures, like all that, even more books, And I remember when I first heard Disney, when they bought Star Wars and they were gonna make more movies, I was excited because I thought they were gonna make movies off the books. Yeah, that happened. Instead, they kind of threw Legends in the trash, sadly. By the time I was excited. So because of that, obviously my love of Star Wars went up. Obviously the idea of more movies coming made me more excited. Of course, I still didn't buy, I wasn't like super fan into Legos right away. I was just I love Star Wars overall, like anything Star Wars. And of course, when the movies came out, Force Unleashed, not Force Unleashed, that's the video game. I actually did play Force Unleashed, the video games. I did love a lot of the video games. Force Unleashed 1 and 2, I do love that game. I also play Star Wars Old Republic. That's still a game I love to play to this day. That's why I'm building this MOC. That's why I have the giant army. Of course, I played the Lego Star Wars games. I love those games. Even the new one's pretty fun. Republic Commando, probably like one of the hardest Star Wars games I ever played, but I do love that one. Same thing in Fallen Order. I like those games. They're all great games. I don't think I've played any Star Wars game I haven't liked, really. But yeah, back to the movies. So, Force Awakens. I did not see it in theaters. I did miss that in theaters, but I remember buying the DVD and watching it for the first time. First time watching it, I loved it. After watching it a second and third time, I started kind of being like, okay, this is not the best movie ever, but it's okay. It was okay Star Wars movie. I had hopes they would get better. Rogue One came out. Rogue One was the very first Star Wars I ever saw in theaters, and man, I love that movie. That is definitely my top five Star Wars movie. Sometimes it's number three. Sometimes it's two. Even just depends on my mood. But Rogue One, for the very first Star Wars movie to see in theaters, it was awesome. I loved it. That's part about the time where I got into Legos, because around that time is when a lot of like a Chic battle packs came out. The Utapau battle pack came out. A lot of those battle packs started coming out, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But yeah, then I did not see Last Jedi in theaters. That was another one I ended up buying the DVD. And the reason I didn't see it is because I heard a lot more mixed reviews on it. So I was kind of worried. So I just waited for it to come on DVD. Watched it on DVD. I would just say I never watched it again. That was the last time I ever watched it. In that DVD I sold a couple years ago in a garage sale for $1. That was the last time I ever watched Last Jedi. At that point, I ended up selling a lot of my sets I had from those movies. I ended up selling quite a few First Order and Kylo Rens and stuff like that I had collected at that time. I still have a few. A lot of them I have torn apart for parts to make some custom troops, Jedis, all of that. Or some Sith officers for the Sith Empire. So I did keep a few. I did keep a few sets for use for Old Republic or just Imperial vehicles and other vehicles that are sold or took apart for parts. That's how bad it was after watching Last Jedi. It ruined the new Star Wars for me. Of course, I watched Solo. I like Solo. I don't think it's the best one, but I do like it better than Force Awakens and Last Jedi. I think it's a fun little movie to watch occasionally. And that was the second one I ever actually saw in theaters. Actually, Solo was the second Star Wars movie I ever saw in theaters, and I enjoyed it. Rise of Skywalker was third, and I had hopes that it would fix The Last Jedi. Well, what The Last Jedi did, which it did, but also created other problems to where I was like, okay, I'm just done with this trilogy. I'm done. But I did love the Star Destroyer moment when the Star Destroyers came out of the planet at Exegol. I did love that. That was probably one of my favorite scenes. It was just a jaw-dropping scene in theaters. I love that series. So if I ever watch that movie, it would be for those certain scenes. Even though I'll say it's probably that trilogy I probably would never watch again, honestly. Unless it was like to make fun of it. And of course, I did read a lot of the new books that came out during the time. I love some of the new books, like Inferno Squad, the new Thrawn books. I love those books. And then I never ran into this in the Legends. There's a few books that were okay, but the new books, I ran into the very first time of finding books I did not like, that did not feel Star Wars. And a lot of those are the aftermath books, or books that are set after Return of the Jedi, that are before like the Force Awakens and stuff like that. I found those books either boring or they did not feel like Star Wars. To where now I barely read any new books unless it's like Inferno Squad, Last Star or Lost Star, and then the Thrawn books, the new ones. Those are the only ones I really still read, just because they feel like Star Wars, and that for me they fit in Star Wars. The other new ones, no, they're done. So pretty much new Disney has been a 50-50 for me, because TV show wise, Clone Wars, I love the Clone Wars. I started watching that around the same time I started watching Revenge of the Sith. So I was kind of behind on that when it first came out. But I remember loving the Clone Wars. The last season they made, I was probably my least favorite, which I think a lot of you can guess why. Rebels, I watched Rebels. Rebels is kind of in the 50-50 also for me. Never watched Resistance. Mandalorian, I did love the Mandalorian. Of course, each season I kind of started to like it less. Part of the same reason for a lot of people, but I did enjoy the Mandalorian. Endor, love Endor just because I love Rogue One, and I think Endor is one of the best stories written and filmed the best. Because Kenobi, I think Kenobi was one of the worst Star Wars shows ever made, and it wasn't just for the story, but I think also just some of the acting and just some of the scenes, how they're filmed, was just like, okay, that's fake. That takes me out of it. But Endor, I think, was filmed like perfectly. And then of course I watched The Acolyte, and I will say there were some good scenes in Acolyte, but overall, I probably never watch it again. Just like Kenobi, I wouldn't watch that two show again either. Ahsoka, I did enjoy Ahsoka, but like everyone else, the last couple episodes just didn't do for me. I was very disappointed in I was kind of disappointed with Thrawn and what they did with Thrawn. I think that was definitely the weakest Thrawn I've ever seen is in Ahsoka. I think Legends Thrawn, Book Thrawn, even Rebel Thrawn, I think they all could beat Ahsoka Thrawn out with their hands tied behind their back. It was that bad. But I still have hope for Star Wars. I will still continue to watch some of the Star Wars TV shows. I haven't watched the new Maul series. I have watched a lot of the Tales, though. I did enjoy. It's another 50-50. I enjoyed half of the episodes they've made. Maul, I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things about it. So I do have hope that Disney will make at least some good Star Wars, but I feel like they've been like 50-50. So that's where I'm at on Star Wars right now is current Star Wars, I'm 50-50, but I still love Legends. I still love reading the books. I want to make more mocks from Star Wars Legends. So that's like the future of the channel. I want to do more or Republic, more Clone Wars set during Legends, like the battles and stuff we probably will never see made ever just because they're in Legends. Same thing with the Empire and Rebellion. I want to make some more battles and stuff during Legends, especially after the movies, because the Empire doesn't go away. Even in Legends, they still fight the Empire, and there's a lot of cool battles and events I would like to make in Lego. So yeah, that's where I'm at in Star Wars right now. Courtney, so let's get to Legos. So what made me get into Legos? So wasn't Star Wars originally. I'll say I did get Lego Star Wars occasionally, but I wasn't just into Star Wars Legos. Actually, Ninjago. I remember watching the pilot episodes of Ninjago and loving it. I didn't buy the Ninjago sets right away. I sadly missed out on a lot of those first sets, but I did buy a lot of Lego City, the Pirates and Knights that were still out during that time, and Star Wars. I even bought a few Iron Man sets. So I was kind of adverse in what I bought. I even bought a lot of the Chima and Nexo Knights and some of those sets too. So I was kind of buying whatever Lego set I could afford, really. So a lot of the cheap sets. But around the time of Rogue One and one of those battle packs started coming out, especially the Battlefront and the Clone battle packs, is when I really started to focus more on Lego Star Wars. But leading up to that, though, I started watching a lot of stop motion on YouTube. When I first discovered YouTube, I was watching a lot of more music videos, and I realized, hey, they make Lego videos. So I watched a lot of stop motion. I watched a lot of Star Wars, and there was a few World War II stop motions I watched. Of course, watching those made me want to be like, hey, I want to make some of these cool weapons or trucks or bunkers that they make in these stop motions. So I started looking up how to do videos, tutorial videos. And I remember making, cool little World War II rifles and a few trucks and bunkers and even a World War I trench. I remember making from a tutorial video. Of course, from there, I started finding mocks. That's when I learned about Star Wars mocks, my own creation. And I started watching those. And I remember there's a few builders I watched that I love their builds, and sadly a lot of them don't build no more, and which is kind of sad because, man, if they kept building today, I think they'd be a lot bigger now, and I think even bigger than some of the big people now, just because how good their mocks were 10 years ago. And sadly, a lot of them don't build no more. But one person who still does build is Solid Brick Studios. And I remember watching a lot of his army videos and also his Kashyyyk video. I think I started watching around his second or third update. And from there on, I started watching every single video he posted, especially on Kashyyyk. And because of mostly him specifically, because he did a lot of the army. There was other army videos I watched with other people, but because of his army video and also his Kashyyyk made me want to do my own army building and MOC building. Of course, perfect timing. Battle packs started coming out with the Kashyyks, the 212, the Imperial Guard, Imperial Gunner, all like, and even the Battlefront sets. You know, even Rogue One. So I started buying those to build up my army video. And if you guys watched my very first video, it's an army video, and it's probably less than 50 figures, and it's like Rebels, Imperials, clones, all in just one base plate. If you guys haven't watched it, go check it out. It's a very bad quality, but just compare my armies today to then. It's amazing of how much it's grown. Obviously, I've slowed down now, but like, go and check that out. It's definitely like kind of it's tiny compared to what I have now. But yeah, that my very first video was a basically kind of an army, Star Wars army, I guess I should say, video, because it was all my factions. And of course, after that, when my army started getting bigger, I started making individual videos for each faction. And then of course I started building MOCs. Of course, I didn't have a very big collection of parts. A lot of my MOCs were small, either like 16 by 16 or 16 by 32s. Occasionally I made 32 by 32 base plate sizes, but that's when the quality kind of went down. Of course, I wasn't the best at the time, but I think for what I had and what I was able to do, I think I think I did a good job. But yeah, of course, that's how it started. So Solid Brick Studios, he is a big reason why he kind of inspired me to do all this. So man, if he's watching this, thank you for inspiring me to do this, and also for making me go broke a few times. But yeah, so if my parents are watching this, that's the guy you can blame for getting me into MOC building. But there was other people I watched, like I said, who don't build no more, and sadly I can't remember a lot of their names. I would have to try to find their videos to find out what their names were. And then as I've been watching YouTube and MOCs and other LEGO channels, there's other people who come and go that I liked, like Life Brick Studios, and also Republic Bricks, and then of course currently Coconut Bricks. He is probably when I started watching about 5 years ago when he built Utapau, and he has been a big inspiration. I can't even speak English. He has made me want to do more than I could do before. Like, he has made me want to challenge myself and do new techniques. Same thing with Solid Brick Studios. There's a lot of things I try to challenge myself to do that he has done. But Coconut Bricks especially. So man, if you're watching this, also thank you. I learned a lot from you recently, at least. And both those two guys, I would hopefully like to meet one day, just because they inspire me to push myself, to do things I have not done. There's a lot of techniques and stuff I would have never done if I haven't watched those two guys. So Solid Brick Studios and Coconut Bricks, if you guys watch this, thank you for inspiring me to push myself and do things I thought I would never do before. But yeah, and of course, when I first moved out, that's when I was 18. That's when around I found Bricklink. Of course, Bricklink is when things changed, because my very first MOC build series was Balmorra, which was part of my first big MOC, also my very first decently detailed MOC, and thanks to Bricklink, I was able to buy parts I couldn't get before. So I built Balmorra. Balmorra was still, I think, one of my favorite MOCs I've built. Obviously not my best now, and I would like to one day to go back and redo it, either make it bigger or just better, honestly. But Balmorra was probably the first one that also made my channel kind of start to grow more. Because before then, I think the only thing that was helping my channel grow was my army videos, really. But I think Balmorra was the first MOC to help my channel grow besides army building. And of course, after Balmorra, I started on my Geonosis MOC. And of course, during that time, I took my hiatus because I had joined the military, so I was gone for about a year. And then when I came back, I finished Geonosis. And I think Geonosis was a fun MOC. I enjoyed building it. Of course, when I came back to finish Geonosis, that's when Solid Brick Studios and a bunch of other people started building Geonosis and started using dark orange, which I had used brown to build Geonosis. And I was like, oh man, I picked the wrong color, but it's too late. We gotta finish what I started. So now if I ever build Geonosis, I'm definitely using dark orange instead of brown. Of course, now so many people building Geonosis is actually made harder to get dark orange. So now I kind of wish no one's built Geonosis in this color because it made dark orange a lot harder to get. But now I know I can build Geonosis because I have the correct color now. But yeah, after Geonosis, I then started Hoth. Hoth was probably it was at the time my biggest MOC, and I think it's still my longest. Of course, this one is gonna beat it. It's gonna be this Korriban at rate is going is gonna be bigger than Hoth lengthwise. But Hoth is still the longest MOC ever built. Of course, while I was building that, I took another year hiatus, and partly because I had moved. I moved to different states, bought a house, which is where we're at now, and then I finally finished Hoth. And I'll say Hoth was the very first MOC I finished here, and also my biggest MOC at the time. And it's still my longest, not my tallest. We'll get to the tallest in a second. And then after that, I took a break from building big MOCs because I had done it for at least 3-4 years by then, and took to me 2-year hiatus. And I decided to build the Ebon Hawk, which is actually right above you guys. I built basically my very first custom vehicle. Still love it. I still love the look of it. Of course, sadly, I will be taking it apart one of these days just because it's so big, and also it's kind of getting fragile to where every time I move it, some pieces break off of it, which is probably the only complaint I have for it. It is kind of fragile. So one of these days, I probably will take it apart and maybe make a smaller one, or maybe just use the part to make something else out of it. But yeah, Ebon Hawk took me about a year to build just because it took a long time to get the parts, and then it took forever to build. I think it took like 3 updates to build it. Then after that, I went back to making large-scale MOCs, which was Solist. Solist is by far probably one of my better big MOCs, and also my tallest MOC. And that one really helped the channel grow. Like I think one of my biggest growths and subscribers was because of Solist. And after Solist, I downgraded to building a small indoor MOC. I just wanted to build something small, since I built a big Hoth, a big Solist, and even a big ship. So I wanted to build something smaller. So I built indoor. And indoor by far is probably one of my best MOCs by detail. I'm really proud of it, and I would hope one day to do a bigger indoor MOC just as detailed. And of course, now here we are with Korriban. Wow, you guys can tell I'm going crazy already. See now, Korriban, and of course, it'll be a year since I started back in June, I believe. June will be a year since I started, and guys, I'm happy of what I was able to accomplish here. Like I am truly happy with this MOC. I would say it's already about the same size as Hoth, and it's probably gonna be big. It's already gonna be bigger than Hoth. I know it's gonna be bigger than Hoth. It's gonna take up this whole table, guys. So I am happy where I have progressed through my MOCs. I'm happy that I have improved on so much of my building techniques and everything. I'm still not perfect. Still don't think I'm the best. I still think like Coconut Brick Studios, Solid Brick Studios, and some of the other MOC builders I follow and watch are still better than me. I think I still have a couple more MOCs of building to where I think I can get to the same, even the same, even like a tier below them, getting like close to their level of building. Like I still think they're up here and I'm like down here still, but I'm slowly making my way up to where I hope one day I can be just as good as them. I don't think I'll ever be better. Because watching Solid Brick Studios, I'm like, wow. Geonosis was probably one of the top 5 best MOCs I've ever seen in my life. And Coconut Brick Studios, he's always improving on his builds too, to where I think I'm always going to play catch up, which I'm fine with. Because this for me is more a hobby, and for them it's more of a job. So But yeah, I am happy that I am improving on my building skills, and I hope one day I can bring some to conventions to show you guys, and you guys will love it seeing in person just as much as you like watching it. So so that's how I got into Legos, and then of course that's how I got into Star Wars, and of course Lego Star Wars combined, and boom, Lego Star Wars. I still like Ninjago. I still have a bunch of Ninjago sets in that closet over here. I still have a whole bunch of minifigures. Occasionally, we'll still buy a few sets here and there of Ninjago. Other themes I don't buy anymore. Occasionally, I will try to buy some knights, maybe some pirates once in a while, just because they're nostalgic for me. Because even though I wasn't huge into Lego growing up in my younger years, I did have a lot of the old classic knights and pirates from like my mom and just from the early 2000s. So they're very nostalgic to me. So I still like to buy some of the knights and pirates and stuff like that. And then same thing Ninjago. I grew up on Ninjago. I don't watch some of the new Ninjago now, but the sets are still awesome. I still like some of the sets, and the minifigures are awesome too. And some of the minifigures are perfect to make Jedi and Sith, which that's what I'm doing for this month. So, but yeah, guys, that is the history of the channel. The future of the channel, I would like to hope in another 11 years, I would hope to at least have more than 2,000 subscribers. I hope it doesn't take me another 11 years to get 11K, but I would hope this channel grows. Of course, this is still a hobby, so this probably will never become a full-time career. But in also another 11 years, I would hope to be, still building. I would hope to, I don't know if I'm ever go bigger than Korriban, but I would hope to be able to make at least some other decently sized mocks of other eras. I already made a giant Hoth mock, and also Saul's mock that's for the Rebels and Empire, and then of course there's Old Republic. So I would hope, my plan is one day in the next 11 years to make another big mock for the Clone Wars, so that the clones can get their big base or big landscape to fight on, So that's what my goal in the next 11 years is, to have more subscribers than 2K, and also continue building, especially at least a few more large scales. This size, maybe one or two more in the next 11 years. I would like to build maybe a little smaller, but we'll see. Plans always change. And also army building. Army building has slowed down, and a lot of it's because of pricing and just being able to afford it. And also just, there hasn't been that many battle packs I want. I found that they make too many Ahsoka troopers and Mandalorian battle packs for my liking. Because I love the Mandalorians, but the Mandalorians is not an army I want thousands of. Because the Mandalorians, it's just different from having like thousands of Imperials and compared to 1,000 Mandalorians. So I'm kind of getting a little tired of Mando and Ahsoka trooper building. I did love the Death Trooper battle pack they released last year. Those sets I still will buy. Of course, I'm buying less. Anyways, even the ones I do love, I'm still buying less. I probably at most buy 4 to 8 instead of like the 20 I might have bought like 10 years ago. Even then, after 4, it's sometimes just pushing it. It just depends on how cheap they are. So army building, I will still like to continue that, but it probably, I don't see my armies doubling in 11 years. I don't see it. I can see them still growing in the next 11 years, but not doubling. I would be surprised if I double my size of all my armies in 11 years. I doubt that would happen. Especially on, cause I'm thinking about even maybe selling some, just cause it's gotten to the point where army building is not as cool as it once was for me. Cause I love the idea of having like 1,000 upon 1,000 troops displayed, but now it's like I keep them in storage. And sadly, a lot of these figures I probably would never use like the entirety of them all. Like the 500 snowtroopers. Sadly, I'm probably never going to use all 500 of those snowtroopers. So like, part of me is thinking maybe one day I might sell some of them just to get some of my money back, and also just be able to put that money towards figs that I would use more in mocks. Because like when I buy 4 to 8, usually like it gives me a decent squad or a company worth of troops. And honestly, for saying what mock you build, that's about perfect. So my army building, I'll say my army building days have definitely lessened, and I don't see it going back up anytime soon. But mock building, I will continue to do that. I also would like to do more other videos. I don't know what I would do. I used to do haul videos. If for those who watch me at least longer than 5 years ago, you guys probably remember I did haul videos. Like used to do haul videos all the time. I've done less. I probably don't want to know if I would get back into those, but I would like to make maybe haul videos on like minifigures, like custom minifigures I buy, because I do buy a lot of more custom minifigures, just because a lot of people are making minifigures that Lego probably would never make, and I would like to do more videos on those, and then maybe some other videos. I don't know what I would like to do, but if you guys have any suggestions on what kind of videos you think I should do, let me know. I'm always open to ideas, and some of those ideas could stick. Because one idea I want to do was lore videos, but it's kind of hard to get into that. A lore video has been done so many times by so many people, especially those who are done it way better than I ever could. But that was something I wanted to do, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I made a couple of shorts, but I don't think I'll be able to continue doing that. But if there's any ideas you guys like to throw at me, and we can just let me know, and maybe we can see if it sticks. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this anniversary video, guys. Once again, I thank you for those who've been through this journey. I thank you for all the new people who joined recently to help me get to the 1K, and also those just who come and go. Like, thank you for watching my videos. And thank you to those who always commented. I always love reading your comments. Even if I don't say something back, even if I just give you hearts and thumbs up, it still means I love reading your comments. I always enjoy seeing those, because for me it tells me that you watched the video, and especially when you say you enjoyed it. Even if you don't say enjoy, even if you say it's awesome, or you like, whatever you say tells me you guys enjoyed the video, and that's why I do it, guys. I do it for you and me. I do it because I enjoy building. I love challenging myself with all these cool builds and being able to do something I love, especially since I love Star Wars. And also I do for you guys, because if I just built this for myself and didn't show it off, for me it'd be cool, but then it's like, oh, okay, there's no one to show it to. So for me to be able to share this with you guys, and you guys loving it, that makes me happy. Because you guys love it, that makes me happy. So that's why I say, if you guys have any criticisms or any tips or tricks, I'm always open to take them. Will I actually do them? That's a different question. But there's been a few tips I've tried to do, or criticisms I try to improve on. I know I'm not perfect, but I do this for you guys too. If you guys enjoy it, that makes me happy. I do it to make you guys happy, and for those who maybe can never build a core band, like, this is your chance to enjoy this core band. And then I go and get comments, and I always love these comments, because I do agree with you that how there should be more public mocks be made, and I will definitely do more. So those who comment stuff like that, it makes me happy, because I'm giving you guys something that you want, more public mocks. So I do for you guys. But yeah, this video is already getting long, so if you guys have watched it this long, thank you. And also, wow, you guys must be cleaning or something. But yeah, guys, that's all I have. So I know it's nothing too super crazy for this video, but honestly, this is kind of more like a anniversary history face reveal of the channel. Oh, and one fun fact for those who didn't know, if you guys been following me for more than 8 years, you guys probably know this, but my channel was not called the Lego Sith Empire originally. Originally, my Lego channel was called Lego Master 97, which I originally made that because that was my email. Of course, my email has changed, so you can't email me there. But then I started collecting Old Republic minifigures, and of course, I built my Balmorra, and I realized, you know what? I want to try to be more unique, because a lot of people have the username Lego Master. I had 97. So, but I decided I want to be more unique. And the Old Republic, especially my armies, and also Balmora, even Korriban, have helped my channel grow a lot more. So I said I'm going to change my name to reflect that more. So that's why I created the Lego Sith Empire. So originally I was called the Lego Master. So if you guys were following me back then, let me know. I want to know who was following me all the way back then when I was the Lego Master. Um, but yeah, I was originally Lego Master, but now I'm the Lego Sith Empire. And I'm glad I changed that name because it makes me more unique. And I think the Old Republic, my armies and mocks have definitely made my channel, I think, stand out to be more unique and help my channel grow. So I'm going to give credit to the Old Republic for that. But yeah, that is a little fun fact for you guys if you guys did not know. But yeah, that's all I have, guys. So please please share, especially if you know somebody who will watch a long video like this. Please comment down below. And guys, thank you for supporting me. And I hope you guys continue to support me. And guys, I hope you have a great day. And may the force be with you. Goodbye.